Let's see. Whoops. And fix. Quality ain't the best, but whatever. Let me see. Turn available. Hidden. See. Show unavailable videos. Okay. Hey Aiden, what's up? Oh, that's why I couldn't hear anything. I had the video muted. Lol. Well, hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Jakirash here. Um, but I'm doing pretty well, actually. Very tired, but I'll be all right. So originally, what I had in mind, was this, it was a top 15 of um, my top 15 Metroid montages since they were like at the beginning of the channel, since day one. And it's called 10 and 7 because, well, yesterday marked the 10th anniversary of me actually being on YouTube. And then today actually marks the 7th anniversary of my very first video, which apparently is also Google's birthday. So that's funny. But yeah, but unfortunately the top 15 Metroid montages video got blocked again. Even though I had everything set up, or like I had done like a test video upload and it was fine or something. But then once I uploaded the refined and actually edited version of that, it got blocked before it could even finish processing. I'm just like, son of a. So, as an alternative, and something I guess that is arguably actually more appropriate, instead, I'll just do a top 10 of, or my top 10 most viewed videos. Just kind of play them or something, but not, I mean, yeah, just have one going on in the background or something. Now there is one stipulation, which is that One stipulation is that if there are repeats, like sort of repeats in the videos in the top tens, then I just don't discuss them. I only discuss the most frequently uh, viewed one. And like for example, I have like a reaction to a top 10 um, or I have a I'm sorry. Every now and again, I'll be listening to my own voice and getting distracted. So, 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 like, there are various 50 Ways to Die in Minecraft videos that I reacted to, and four of those made it in the top 10 most viewed. So I only included the uh, most viewed one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. But yeah, starting up at number 10, interestingly enough, is actually the special I did when I broke 100 subscribers, um, which, was the first landmark I ever crossed, naturally. And, obviously that's very small. But, I mean, I'm still very small. I'm, like, still under 400, but, this is not really trying to do this professionally at all. I just do it because it's a hobby. But I have a lot of fun with it, and I really enjoy the interactions with people and the very small community and whatnot. So I still feel I should just make a video that I appreciate all my that I like appreciate all my subs and whatnot. So yeah, thank you all again for watching and stuff. Um, at number 9 is Metroid Phoenix Dark Samus Reborn, which was um, the music video I had for my very own cover of Dark Samus's theme. Um, and and interestingly enough, it's also my most watched of the Metroid montages. So um, the second place was actually the first music video I did for it, which is actually behind by exactly 1,000 views. So that's pretty exciting. But yeah, this one had a bit more of the first one, which was called Metroid Nightmare, which is basically intended to be more of an extension of Samus's nightmare at the beginning of Prime 3, because for those who don't know, like Prime 3 um begins with Samus having a nightmare of Dark Samus returning, which of course ends up being true. Spoiler alert. um and so it ended with a clip of her awakening. So basically it was intended as an extension of that with this theme that I did. But then this second one, let me turn it up just a little bit. Wake up and smell the phase on. Oh gosh. Yeah, actually, in the third one, she ends up being able to absorb Phazon and stuff. So that's actually pretty appropriate. But yeah, the second one, I decided to, put a little like, creative, like artistic liberty or something. In that there's the bit at the end where Dark Samus is destroyed, but then instead of Samus's phazon dissipating entirely, instead it consumes her instead, and so Dark Samus still returns. So that was like the artistic liberty I put in. Oh, for the win. I was like, was that a typo or something? Oh gosh. Nah, that's all right. What's up, Lab Cat? Coming out at number 8, though. It was just a little one of the first shorts I ever did, which was the introduction of Gorea, like the first time you see Gorea in Metroid Prime Hunters, which is just a really killer scene, just because you're like, oh my gosh. It also has a very Raiders of the Lost Ark opening of the Ark scene feel to it, because it's just kind of like they open it up and it's just kind of like, oh, it was at this moment they realized they effed up. It was like, you know. And then like they all get rendered like incapacitated, and they're not killed, but they just all get incapacitated and stuff. And so, you know, they're all like limp and stuff, and just it's such a killer introduction for Gorea. Just make you like, oh gosh. Let me double check. Yeah, because some of these videos for some reason aren't don't show up. Coming up at number 7 is actually my theme, my cover of Rundus's theme, which, let me turn it up a bit. Like I've been looking around for a like a more Requiem sort of version of Rundus's theme, and well, there was like a shortage of that sort of thing on YouTube. And at this time, I had recently released the Dark Samus theme of mine, and so I was like, I wanted to do like a Requiem sort of feel to Rundus's battle theme. Yes, I'm very aware. um, it just can't be helped, because the video I was gonna do. I mean, this is really my only way of live streaming. Here, I'll turn it down a bit more so it's not as bad. I mean, so like there are like the drum lines and stuff that I have were like a slowed down version of like Rundus's um, normal theme, like not his battle theme, but it's like, da 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 da. It's like has this drum line in it that I slowed down and put in the Requiem. And then, some of the vocals as well are from his normal theme. But yeah, like Rundus is one of the one of the coolest characters in Metroid, actually, and um, he is like he's sort of like this sort of cocky hybrid of Batman and Frozone, except he's like this tall, sort of Eldari looking alien. Um, um, yes, I know what you mean. Like I can hear the audio, but yeah, I don't know what to do about that either. This is just but yeah, like Rundus is also one of the most remembered characters in Metroid because like he's one of the few characters that ends up saving Samus's life at some point, and like they work together for a bit, and so like they make a cool team and stuff, and for a bit in Metroid Prime 3. But then Dark Samus attacks and like embeds her mark of Phazon, or mark of corruption, in each of the hunters, including Samus. And unfortunately, all of the bounty hunters, except for Samus, fall to the Phazon corruption, and so she has to fight every single one of them. So this is a Requiem version of his battle theme. So like, yeah, a lot of people are like, yeah, they remember Rungus because of that. Which is also interesting, like how he actually dies is ambiguous. Like it's not clear if he was still under Dark Samus's um, possession, so to speak, and she killed him because he failed, or if he ended up regaining enough willpower himself to kill himself before he could harm Samus any further or something. Because it seems very much implied that his will was so strong that Dark Samus had to personally possess him, instead of just corrupting him like the other hunters. So yeah, his death there is very ambiguous. Like it could be either way. He could have, um, it could have been a matter of him falling or him killing himself to avoid harming Samus any further, or Dark Samus killing him because he failed. Um, but yeah, Rundus is a really cool character. Um, Probably my favorite line that he says, like, at some point they're going up in the elevator and to like try and to activate the orbital assault cannon or defense cannon to destroy the incoming Leviathan seed. And Gandrea is like, you're late. We were about to leave you behind. And Gora's like, the meteor is approaching faster than you think. And Gandrea is like, if we don't make it to the top in time, we can kiss this planet goodbye. And then Rundus goes, hey, relax. We're the good guys. Justice will prevail and all that stuff. Right, Samus? Also, my favorite thing that I added to that theme, or that rendition of his theme, is that in the background, obviously with this terrible audio, it's kind of you can't really tell. Um, but in the background, you can hear that I added a blizzard like ambience in the background, and of course that's a reference to him having the ability to generate and manipulate ice. You're out of ice? You can't run out of ice. I thought you could use the water in the air. There is no water in this air. Okay, anyway. Anyway, coming up at number 6 is my most popular reaction to 50 Ways to Die in Minecraft by Jake Eyes, which he did make another video, another of these videos that I still haven't reacted to. But yeah, look at that. Those were when I had the dark rimmed. Yeah, I figured you get that reference. Yeah, the dark rimmed glasses. Look at that. Yeah, a lot of people especially liked, what was it? Slash summon 50 Ways to Die in Minecraft 9. Squiggly, squiggly, squiggly. Oh yeah, how I like burst out laughing here or something. Oh, that was close. This'll teach you not to break down our cactuses. Cactuses isn't the plural form of cactus. The plural form of cactus is cacti. Cacti isn't the purple form of cactus. The purple form of cactus is the Cytharita prickly pear. I'm far enough away to avoid the... Sorry, Go ahead. Oh, that was close. This'll teach you not to break down our cactuses. Cactuses isn't the plural form of cactus. The plural form of cactus is cacti. Refusing to acknowledge the evolution of the English language. You see, I relate to this one. I relate to this one so much. I'd be getting into arguments over. Oh, that's so fun. That's so good. All right. Anyway, you get the point. So yeah, Jake Eyes makes a whole lot of makes a lot of these funny videos and stuff. Naturally, a lot of these are just joke ways to die in Minecraft, but like they're such a good watch. Yeah. So give them a watch. Coming up at number 5 is actually my most popular theory video on the channel, which was an unrelated, or not unrelated, an unexpected source, because it's like for a while my among the characters Agent Carlson encounters and converses with. I'll have to mute this because then you'll be hearing me on the stream and then me in the video. But so like anybody who knows my channel knows that I have a whole lot of Metroid on my channel, and that's kind of all I did for a good while. But then I started doing like some Titanic Adventure Out of Time videos, and those videos started to blow up just on my channel, just kind of out of nowhere. I was like, oh, okay, a lot of people like this, or at least there's kind of not that big of a demand for these videos or whatever. So like maybe that's not the word I'm looking for. It's like not a lot of people are doing the videos on it. I guess that's what I mean. But yeah, I'm really thankful for this too, but it's like, yeah, my two most popular My two most popular Titanic Adventure Out of Time videos, like one of them is my video that compiles all the endings. And then my second most popular is this one, which is my theory video, which apparently is like the only theory video on this game on the internet or something. And it's basically about this character, Buick Riviera, who is like this French card sharp or card player that you run into. Um, and basically, the theory goes that like more or less like you just go through all of these different characters and see their connections and all that sort of stuff. He's not really a bad guy is the thing. It's like you don't really think of him as a bad guy. I mean, but he is a bit off. So basically, my theory is that he's actually supposed to be the devil himself. Um, and really, when you put everything in the game into perspective and have that in mind, it just really makes sense. Um, yeah, but they are French. Um, um, but the best part though, is that I was watching this documentary somebody on YouTube put together of the making of this game, available on Steam, by the way. Um, um, but where was I? Oh yeah, the best like there was this guy who made this documentary on the making of this game, and he actually featured a bit of my endings video, which I was like, what? you know. And then when I commented and was like, hey, and it's like, hey, thanks for the credit and stuff, he responded with, I actually asked the guy I was interviewing, Scott Scheinbaum, one of the devs. I actually asked him if he had seen your Riviera's the Devil video, theory video, and he said he hadn't, but he also said that he liked the idea so much that they wished they had thought of that. And so I'm just like, oh my gosh, I just got like all like warm fuzzy feelings inside. It's like it's basically canon now. But um but yeah, a theory video of my own actually recognized, and that was really awesome. Um, uh, Coming up at 94. Coming up at number 4, um, was a video I did, which was um, I just showed the bad ending of Metroid Prime Hunters, and which Metroid Prime Hunters is actually the only Metroid game that has a good ending and a bad ending. Like there are games that have like they show you different endings depending on your percentage and stuff, but they don't change, like they don't mess with the canon or anything of that sort. Prime Hunters is the only one that actually has a bad ending to the game, like a game where Samus actually dies and like the Olympic prophecy isn't fulfilled and stuff like that. So it's like it's rather interesting. Which anybody who's been watching my Half Life uh, videos lately, um, will know that I've been making these um, observations like, oh, hey, it's like this is similar to, or I've seen something in Metroid Prime Hunters that is similar to this, and like it just keeps getting better. And interestingly enough, how to get the good and the bad ending is dependent on whether you activate these cascade laser cannons, which kind of remind me of the Resonance Cascade a little bit. And then, of course, it has a good ending or a bad ending, and Half-Life also has a good ending or a bad ending, so I'm just kind of like, eh. I mean, that might be a coincidence, but I mean, because a lot of games have good endings and bad endings, but hey, it's just where there's smoke, there's fire, and it just happens to all be in Prime Hunters. Just saying. Um, Coming up at number 3, go ahead, Drangorn is trained professional. Lol. Coming at number 3 is one of the few meme videos I've posted on the internet, but it is also my most popular one that a lot of people really like. It's like kind of a meme within a meme, basically. But yeah, here you go.
How it feels to chew 5 gum. Diabetes. Stimulate your senses.
Anyway, yeah, so there you go. Um, kind of enough said, but um, yeah, coming up at number 2, which this one,
They say we've lost our dreams, but it's our yacht and the real necklace.
this one almost gave number 1 a run for its money. Like it came pretty close at some point. But then a few things happened. Namely, Dark Samus was added to Smash, and then Metroid was getting a lot more love and stuff. And so basically, this video was coming up real close behind number 1, but then number 1 just took off and just, you know, never to be close again. But yeah, this was my compilation of all the different endings you could get in the game Titanic Adventure Out of Time, which it has 8 different endings. But yeah, it's like it's all dependent on. Well, the first ending you can get that I show here is really just you fail to leave the ship. But all the other endings are dependent on whether you leave with certain items or something like that of nature, or of that nature. Like there are 4 different items that you need to collect sometime throughout the game. One is the Rubaiyat, which is like this really expensive book of Persian poetry or something like that. And there's this diamond necklace. And then there's this painting that is actually a Hitler original that has like secret German plans on the back of it. And then there is a notebook that has a list of Bolshevik anti-czarists and stuff, or whatever. Anti-czarists, not Bolsheviks, but there is a slight difference because the Bolsheviks didn't have like Trotsky, for instance, was a Menshevik, I think, for a bit. But yeah, it has just a name of anti-czarists or something, a list of anti-czarist names and whatnot. So like, the idea is to leave with all of them, or to make sure that this other character doesn't leave with either of the really expensive items, like the necklace or the book, because then he uses that to fund the Black Hand, who then assassinates Archduke Franz Ferdinand. And then you have to leave with the painting. You can't let this other guy leave with it because, it'll like affect the balance of the war. And then like if you leave with a notebook, then the Tsar stays on his throne and the Bolshevik Revolution doesn't happen. So you can get all these various different endings. There's like one where the Soviets take over Europe. Well, there are really three different endings where the Soviets take over Europe, and then there are two different endings where the Nazis take over Europe, except one of them, Hitler unleashes nuclear warfare because he developed the bomb first. Then there's the historical ending, and then there's one where you prevent both world wars and the Bolshevik Revolution, which is the good ending. But yeah, this video got featured in the documentary that guy did of like the making of Titanic Adventure Out of Time, and I was like
Vlad left the Titanic with the ruby
jumping Jiminy, you know, just when I saw it's like it said credit Ishak Urash, and I was like, what? But anyway, and finally, number one. Which today is, as I mentioned, the 7-year anniversary of this video, which was also my very first video, and it's still by far the most popular video on my channel. But yeah, it was my very own cover of Dark Samus's theme, or her battle theme, really. Because there is another theme, which is like her, like if she's nearby, for instance. But I did give this like a more ambient sort of feel, just like her, like she's nearby theme or something like that. But while most remixes or covers of her theme are more like exciting or like loud or fast or you know stuff like that, I went with a more like darker ambient sort of approach because like Dark Samus is one of the only characters in the entire Metroid series that actually scares Samus, and which is like shown like through like the fact like I mentioned earlier, like Samus has a nightmare at the beginning of Metroid Prime 3 where Dark Samus returns. And then like at the end of Prime 2 when despite her being weakened and stuff, she keeps just like crawling over to Samus to try and like steal the energy from her suit. And like the look on Samus's face, she's just kind of like, what the frick? Just like, um, so basically I went with a rendition of this that illustrated the dread of Dark Samus, or the fact that Dark Samus scares Samus. So that's why it's slower and more ambient, and like has a yeah, it just kind of goes more for the fear factor than for the excitement of it. Lol. Um, Not exactly. But yeah, naturally this doesn't really do it justice. Like hearing it through this live stream doesn't really do it justice. So give it a listen. But I'm really grateful, just really grateful and thankful that it's it's like my most viewed video slash song or whatever, and it's still it's always been and it still is my most viewed video. Um, so that's just really cool. Just really cool how that happened. Um, And yeah, today it turns 7 years old. So, which it feels longer than that, to be honest. But you know, it's just how it be. Yeah, so I did it in 2016, um, which was apparently everybody's worst year until 2020. But which, to be honest, neither of those years were really that bad for me. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just different or whatever. Um, but yeah. So that's a little discussion on my top 10 most viewed videos for the 10 and 7 Annie special. I know the audio was not great, but I'm actually streaming this on my own data. And plus, this phone isn't really the best for that sort of thing, but it's kind of my only option. And I kind of had to come up with a plan B real quick for replacing my other video, which again was going to be the top 15 Metroid montages on my channel, which got blocked for the third time. So, but thank you all so much for watching. As always, God bless, and hope to see y'all next time. Ciao.